All right, guys. Today, guys, it is time to preview the Copa America final. Now, I know everyone's excited for the final. Trust me, I'm as well. However, we need to discuss about third place game real briefly, just because, like I said before, guys, the third place game does exist. Some competitions do it, some don't, and Euros happens to be the one. I mean, not Euros. Copa America happens to be the one that does it. So let's go ahead and touch about real briefly, give you guys a little quick preview and see how they're doing, and that means let's go get started. So yeah, man, Colombia and Peru. It sucks that they're here. Obviously, they wouldn't really want to be here. They would rather be in the final. And it's tough to lose, especially for both nations here. One nation lost on penalties. One nation lost by a goal margin. It's very tough conditions. None of these nations were blown apart in their semifinals. They all fought very valiantly. And it was very, very close indeed. So for Colombia in particular, that performance against Argentina was a great performance. And I know many people will be criticizing them, what they did, especially for all the tackles they did on Lionel Messi and all that good stuff. You can't really blame them, to be fair. Lionel Messi is one of those players that are so extraordinary that it's very difficult to defend against him, and very difficult. And oftentimes, you have to resort to tackles. They aren't the first team to do so. We know Real Madrid's done it before. We know many other teams have done it before. And so it's not like it's not happened before. It's just that, in particular, Colombia for me, they played decent against Argentina. They really did. Whereas for Peru, in my opinion, they played pretty well against Brazil, but it was only in the second half. The first half, they didn't really do anything in the first half. They were very, very open. Brazil, they were basically hanging on. And for Peru, I think it was just a bit too late. They responded. So for me, whichever side scores first, I reckon they're probably going to win the game. And I believe because Colombia have been more experienced and because Colombia do have the better head-to-head than Peru, and I also do think Colombia do have the better players, I do believe Colombia will win this game. And I think they'll take home third place. For Peru, I mean, prove me wrong, man. Prove me wrong. Peru have proven me wrong many times. They obviously they got to the final last edition of the Copa America, so I do definitely think Peru can do something here and maybe win this. However, I'm going to go with Brazil. I mean, not Brazil. I'm going to go with Colombia to win this. So we now move on to the final, guys. The final. And my prediction is 2-1 Colombia, by the way. Goals coming from Peru, La Polda, and I think Colombia, there's going to be Luis Diaz, and I think Luis Muriel. Okay? So now we move on to the final. The final. Argentina-Brazil. This is perhaps one of the greatest international rivalries we have ever seen in the world. Some other rivalries that come up that are notable, of course, are USA-Mexico, England-Germany. Perhaps you could say England-Argentina. You could perhaps even say, let me think what else. Another good one. There's different ones I can think of. I can't really think off the top of my head right now. And so this is probably the biggest one in the world. And I just think for me, this is perhaps the best Argentina national team we have seen since 2014. And I think for Argentina in particular here, it's very, very imperative that they need to do this, man, because the last time Brazil lost at the Maracanã Stadium was in 1950 against Uruguay. It's been a very, very long time since Brazil have last lost a game here. And I just think for me, Argentina, man, this is theirs for the making, because as I said before, guys, Argentina are coming this as the underdogs. We all know Brazil are the heavy favorites here. Majority of the people expect Brazil to win. And I really do believe this final will be a lot more closer than people anticipate to be. Because Argentina, for me, they've had a good tournament. They've had a very good tournament. Messi, in particular, has registered 4 goals and 5 assists in 6 games, which is extremely outstanding. Those are extraordinary numbers, to say the least. And I really do believe that if Messi can perform like this in the final, I really do believe Argentina can actually win this. And obviously the headlines will be Messi versus Neymar. Everyone's going to be looking at that rivalry. Everyone's going to be looking at that. And the two haven't played against each other since 2016. That's what we've all wanted to see, And I just think for me, it's going to be very interesting to see how Neymar handles himself. And because let's be real, guys, neither Neymar or Messi have won a Copa America yet. And neither of them have won a Copa America. And it's kind of hard to believe that they're two superstars at a continent haven't even won a Copa America. Isn't that kind of hard to believe? And I just think for me, for Argentina in particular, it's going to be interesting to see how they approach this game. Because I've seen in the past, Argentina tend to do very well in the first half. But when it comes to the second half, it's very, very rough for Argentina's second half. Second halves, they generally struggle. They generally have to be defensively strong. and generally they're not that effective in the second half. Whereas for Brazil, on the other hand, they tend to labor a lot during the first half and tend to do very, very well in the second half, as evidenced by this Copa America. And I just think for me, it's gonna be interesting to see how the tide shift. Like Argentina takes the lead, Brazil takes the lead. Will it be a back and forth game, or will it be like a complete one side domination? And I do have to believe this has the potential to go to penalties. And how crazy would this go to penalties, guys? Imagine Brazil lose on penalties at their own stadium. That would be an incredible. That would be an amazing. Obviously, you guys know I'm supporting Messi here. Obviously, you guys know I want Messi to win something for his national team. It's a criminal for a player of his stature doesn't win anything for his national team. And so I really do believe that Messi. I'm really hoping for Messi. I obviously want Messi to win this, and I'm really hoping that he delivers. And I just think for Argentina in particular here, it's gonna be interesting to see how they do this. And for Argentina, man, can they rise up the big occasion? Because that's the thing for Argentina is that when it comes to big games, Argentina tend to underperform it. You look at the game against Chile in the Copa America final, 2016. How do they lose that final? How did Higuain not score? And you look at the final against Germany, for example, 2014. How did Higuain miss those kind of chances? And so there is a lot of things that need to be taken into consideration here. And Messi, this is his fifth final with Argentina. Fifth final. And remember, guys, Argentina haven't even scored a single goal in all four of those finals. They haven't scored a single goal with Messi on the pitch. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that all pans out. And remember, guys, the last time Argentina won a trophy is in 1993. Okay? And so it's going to be interesting to see what happens here in particular. I'm really looking to that attack of Brazil. I'm looking at that attack. Neymar, Paquetá are probably going to be the only real standout players. Everton, Richarlison, they've been kind of they play pretty poorly in this Copa America so far. And then obviously you have Firmino that's been kind of like under the radar, hasn't really done much. So, Firmino is probably a player that you don't really expect him to score. However, part of me believes he might even score for Brazil because he tends to show up in the big games. For Argentina in particular, they have some great attackers. Obviously, they have Di Maria, who's been money in this tournament. Lautaro Martinez has been pretty good. Lionel Messi, of course. Then you have Sergio Aguero. And then you also have Papu Gomez has been good. The only Argentinian player from the attack that I would say is pretty bad is probably Nico Gonzalez. That guy's probably the worst player of the bunch. And so I do believe Argentina in the sense that I feel like if you're looking just purely just attack-wise, I think Argentina do have the better attack. Now, if you look at the midfield is going to be interesting. You have Paredes. You also have Lo Celso. You have Rodrigo de Paul. You also have, let me think who else. I'm trying to think. There's one more player. Rodriguez, I think it's called. Guido Rodriguez. And for Brazil, you basically have Casemiro and Fred. That's it. You don't really have anyone else from the midfield. So it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to combat against each other, And so I think for me, Argentina, you probably say they have the better midfield on paper, but I would probably say it's about even because, as I said before, guys, Casemiro has been pretty good, and Fred's actually had a decent tournament, to be fair. So, it's going to be a very interesting that battle. And obviously defense, we all know the defense. Who's going to win that? That's obviously Brazil. Brazil obviously have the better defense. I mean, you have Otamendi, Pizella, Romero, Lisandro Martinez. And then for Brazil, you have Eder Militao, Marquinhos, Thiago Silva. You even have, that's pretty much about it. And then you have Danilo, Rodri as well. Now Rodri, Danilo and Lodi as well. And for Argentina, Vicuña, you have Tagliafico. So you have Foyth as well, I think. Actually, I don't think Foyth got selected. So it's going to be interesting. The defense, obviously, Brazil have the better defense here. And I think for me, Brazil, the key attributes of Brazil is that while they may not score the most goals, they are very defensively strong. Very, very good defensively. And obviously, their goalkeeper is amazing. You have Ederson and Alisson. Whereas for Argentina, you have Emi Martinez and Frank Armani. And let's be real, guys. Armani ain't that good. So, so it's going to be interesting to see how that all pans out. So, for me, I personally believe, as much as it pains me to say this, I believe Brazil will win this. I really do believe Brazil will win this. They tend to show up in the big games. And for Argentina, I'm going to still have some question marks on whether who is going to particularly show up. Because as I said before, guys, for Argentina in particular, it's got to be Messi. It's Messi or bust. Like, if Messi doesn't show up in this final, Argentina have no chance of winning this final. They have no chance. Whereas for Brazil, Neymar doesn't need to show up to win this. Brazil can still even win without him. We saw in the last Copa America, Brazil won the Copa America even without Neymar. So I really do believe Brazil are the favorites, and of course they are the favorites. And remember, guys, Messi has not even scored against Brazil in a competitive match. And remember, guys, last time Argentina won a competitive match against Brazil was in 2005. So it's been a very, very long time since Argentina have actually defeated Brazil. So it's the odds are definitely against Argentina on this occasion. And you know, I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to be proven wrong. You know, and it would be very, very nice to see. It would be very, very nice for me to be proven wrong here. You know, so I want to be proven wrong, but unfortunately, I have to say that I can't back Argentina here because I don't have enough trust in them. You know, so my heart wants Argentina to win, but my head telling me Brazil is going to win. So I'm going to say Brazil wins 2-1. I think what's going to happen is that first half I think it's going to end 0-0 actually. And then I think Brazil's going to open the scoring through Neymar. I think Neymar will score a spectacular goal out of nothing around the 50th minute. And I think for Argentina, they'll equalize through, I'm going to say Lautaro Martinez, 60th minute. I think Messi will provide the assist. And then late on the game, Neymar and I think Paqueta will score the winner for Brazil around the 80th minute to give Brazil their 10th Copa America title and to ensure that they, and yeah, so. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, guys. I'm really curious to see what you guys think. And so I want you guys to share in the comment section below. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and do the combined 11 real quickly, guys, just to share with you guys this real quickly. So in goal, I have Emi Martinez over Ederson. I just think Emi Martinez has been a great goalkeeper for Argentina. Those 3 saves against and the penalty shootout was amazing. And remember, what if it goes to penalties, guys? How crazy would that be? If it goes to penalties, maybe Argentina might be able to win. I'll give them that chance. But I don't think this is going to penalties. So then for the left back position, I'm going to have Renan Lodi. I suppose. I think Renan Lodi's had a great tournament. So why is Lodi not even? Why is there no card for? Oh yeah, here we go. I was going to say. So I'm going to put Lodi at the left back, and then for the center backs, I'm going to put Marquinhos. Marquinhos for me is definitely one of the most underrated center backs in the world. Marquinhos has to get in. And then for the other center back, who's going to be it? I'm going to probably have to say Thiago Silva. Okay. And then for the right back, I'm going to put right back. It's a tough call. To be honest with you guys, I think for this one, I might just put Danilo. Yeah. Argentina, let's see who they have for the right back position. They have Molina, Nahil Muholini. So, yeah, I'm going to put Danilo, I guess, for this one. And then for the midfield center mid, I'm going to have De Paul. I think Rodrigo De Paul has had a great tournament for Argentina, so I'm going to put him in there. And then for the CDM, I would probably Casemiro. And then for the other center mid, I would probably have who do I have for this one? Lo Celso. It's a tough call. Lo Celso, Rodriguez. I'll put Rodriguez, to be honest with you guys. Wait, why is he? Oh. Yeah, is there no card for Rodriguez in the game? It seems like there's no card for him. Guido Rodriguez. He's a center mid, okay. And left wing, Neymar obviously has got to start. That's a no-brainer. As striker, I would probably have Lautaro. I'm just going by how they've done the Copa America this so far, to be honest with you guys. And then Messi on the right wing. So I think that's my Argentina-Brazil 11. You can see, right, guys, I have 4 Argentinians and 7 Brazilians. And then manager Tite versus Scaloni. Obviously, Tite is better. I mean, this is a no-brainer, guys. So Tite is obviously the better manager than Scaloni here. So that's it for today, guys. So that's my preview for the Copa America final, guys. I want you guys to share your comment section below what you guys think. Remember, guys, I will be back in Argentina. I obviously want Argentina to win this. However, I have to say that I think Brazil are going to be the favorites, and I expect them to win, especially at home as well. It's a huge, huge advantage indeed. So I want you guys to share in the comments section below who do you guys think will win it for which nation you guys will think will win it. And do you guys think this can go to penalties? Because if it goes to penalties, guys, ooh, it could be very, very interesting indeed. So I want you guys to share all that in the comments section below. Remember, guys, to comment, subscribe, check out my description below, my Twitter, Discord, and my email. And I'll see you guys later. And by the way, guys, before you end this video, I've noticed that 82% of you guys watching my channel are not subscribed to my channel, which is very, very sad indeed. And that's a very shocking stat. And that's very high. So I'm hoping that we can get, so if you do enjoy the content, I highly, highly recommend you subscribe to my channel. And make sure you hit the bell notification to turn on. You can get all the notifications whenever I upload a video, guys. And so you guys, thanks for watching. Peace out.